Good morning, C++ COS 1511 Group 7E students, and welcome to our Zoom session. I can see Akil is around. Akil, are you there?
Yes, well, yes,
Hello, Akil. How are you?
I'm all good, thanks.
Great to hear. You want to put your video on for a few seconds, Akil, or you prefer not to?
My webcam is actually not connected, sir, so it won't
Oh,
go.
okay. Next week you better connect it, right? So tell us, Akil, where are you from, Akil?
I'm from Bloemfontein.
And tell us, what do you fly?
Attack helicopters.
What helicopter?
Attack.
Attack helicopter. Oh my goodness. I know I'm in safe hands. I've got Akil there. Great to hear, Akil. All right. So, Akil, I'm going to start my lesson for today. Oh, by the way, I can see lots of people are joining. Anybody else wants to introduce themselves? Where are they from? Very quickly. Anyone? Anybody wants to introduce? No. All right. Let's. I think they're shy, Akil. Right. So, Akil, just tell me, are you able to see my screen, my wakelet screen? It says
yes, can see it.
Great. So today I'm going to be talking about volume, area, cube, and squares in a function way. Akil, how's that? F-U-N, function way? Great. That's a joke. You got what I'm talking about.
Yes,
Akil?
yes,
right.
sir.
So we're going to be talking about functions. Now, I already started this last week where I spoke about functions, and I even did a little trace table as well. So today we're going to continue with that. And oh, by the way, today all students who attend the class will receive a free past year paper. So if you stay till the end of the lesson, I'm going to upload it to the chat. And don't share it with anybody, it's just for you guys, right? Okay. The other thing I'm going to talk about today is the question and answers. Anyone with a question, specific question that you'd like me to answer in today's session? This Zoom session is a synchronous session, you know, both of us online, like Akil is talking to me, I'm talking to Akil. All right, so I've got past year papers. By the way, disclosure, I do not have the 2022 exam paper, so don't ask me for that, right? Okay. I found out from the lecturer, assignment 2 is due at the end of the month. There's no extension. So make sure you get it done before that. And please don't wait for the last minute. That's the time my UNISA will go down. She also mentioned that you can use, you know, other programming concepts. Like some people asked me if they could use set W so that they can have their, you know, columns set up neatly. Yes, you can use that. You won't be penalized. All right. So that comes straight from the lecturer. I'll take it to my YouTube channel. Oh, and I love the number of views that I'm receiving. It's in the hundreds. It's not like, you know, Beyonce in the millions or the Kardashians in the millions, Kim Kardashian and so on. But I'm so happy that it's actually reached 3 digits. Okay, and I'm going to actually do a program with you, the area cube function. Let's look at it. A COS 1511, I've got a Google Drive with all my whatever I received from the lecture. There we go. So why, Akil, can you see my screen right now? I'm sharing it. It says COS 1511 material. That's
yes.
Right. So if you notice, I have uploaded it well today, and I have assignment 2, 3, 4, 5. This was given to me by the lecturer because assignment 4 was swapped with assignment 2. So we're no longer talking about the flight booking example. Attack helicopter flight booking example, no flying booking and all of that, right? We're talking about lessons 17 to 23 for assignment 2, which is actually easier. So feel free to access that. If you want, I could email it to you. And I also noticed that some students had asked me for the last question that they do not need to submit the variable diagram. Please submit it. I'm not sure why that is so, right? So I have another wakelet page with all the resources that I have. You can click on that link. And this is my lesson for today. I'm going to talk about the area of a circle, area of a cube, area of a square. And feel free to stop me anytime, and I can discuss that with you. By the way, the program dealing with the area of a circle and area of source code it's actually, I found that on the internet. Akil, I know you think that I know everything, Akil, but I'm learning just like you, Akil. Akil, can you see that? It says C++ program to find the area of a circle.
Yes.
And it's called try to program. We're not trying to program. We're going to aim for a distinction. Please, all of you that are here in my Zoom session, you are here because you want to not just pass, but you want to get a distinction, right? I hope that's what you want. So if you want to learn about the maths behind my program today, there's a circle, what's pi, r squared. Don't think about a vegetable pie or a mutton pie or a chicken pie, anything like that. We're talking about a pie, right? And please feel free to use the reactions. I know I don't have a sense of humor. I know I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'd like to bring joy and happiness to everybody, but I try with my jokes like, you know, pie, vegetable pie. That was a joke, Akil. Okay,
It's
right.
funny, it's funny.
So thank you, Akil. So here's the program that they have, but I will actually do the program with you. And you can stop me wherever you want to. You can change values, and I'll show you how to tackle the program from a algorithmic perspective, right? With strategy and how to do it. So that's there. And you don't have to take down any notes whatsoever. All you do is you click on the vehicle page and you can follow whatever I'm talking about. So this was last week's Zoom session. I know some of you have missed it. Akil, you were there last week, Akil, or you were flying?
Yes.
You were there. Oh, I'm so glad you move your schedule around, right? Okay. And we won't be long, maybe half an hour. It all depends on you, how long you have, right? So this was last week's session. I know some of you told me that you only joined yesterday. I don't know what you were doing all this time. There we go. This is the latest assignment 2 questions. Please forget about that flight booking school. Forget about Akil's attack helicopter. And we're going to do this one, right? I've got lots and lots of videos, over 100 videos. And if you go to my YouTube channel, let me take you out there. Please like my videos. I don't get many likes, right? I'm craving attention, and I'm craving acknowledgement from you guys. Not from just acknowledgement with my YouTube videos. And you see, I've got 124 videos. And even if you're still busy on assignment 1, I have assignment 1 videos to assist you as well, right? I deliberately don't keep it in order so that you got to look for something and find out what's going on there. I spoke to you about, the quiz. I've created some quizzes for you. I just want to take you through that. And it's fun because I want you guys to go and access the UNISA sites. Akil, I've switched over to the UNISA sites. Are you able to view that, Akil?
Yes, but it's just saying
Akil?
It's coming up. It's coming.
Oh, it's great. So I have a wall of fame. Please do that, my Group E students. Access it. And the quizzes are really short quizzes. It's not half an hour, 1 hour. You can do it in a matter of minutes. Akil, I noticed you didn't do it, Akil.
I will do it.
Yeah, please do that, right? And guess what? You have more than 1 attempt. So you can go to my quizzes at the bottom out here. It says lesson 2, 3, 4, 5. So how you tackle this is you go through the lesson in the study guide. You look at the lesson and you work through it, you read through it, and you try and answer the exercises. And this little quiz basically keeps you on your toes. It also gets you used to the environment of an online test as such. So if I look at lesson 5 quiz, I only got 14 attempts and I've got 264 students in this class, right? It's only 5 minutes, barely less than 5 minutes, right? Let's look at the attempts, and I say, hey, Kajal Asram, in 2 minutes, she did it. Wow. I'm looking at Fatima Malik. She scored 100. That's 100%, 10 out of 10. So Akil, I expect your name to be there at the end of today. Akil? Akil? And I promise you, if you go there, I'm going to, I'll make you famous. I'll post it on our wall of fame, like Lutando Majebe. He scored 100%, 10 out of 10 in 7 minutes. Actually, it was 6 minutes, 59 seconds. So please log in I'm able to track whether you log into the My Vinisa site or not, right? I can tell you when you log in, where you logged in, what you did, all right? And very often it's students that are consistently working. You don't have to work, 8-hour stretch on a Saturday. You can work 5 minutes every day or 10 minutes every day, and you can cover the material, all right? So here's my analogy. When you're eating a sandwich, you take a bite at a time. You don't eat the whole sandwich at one go. So this is how you must tackle this course. And there's 30 lessons that you have to go through. And basically, you only have, until September, October before the examinations. And not only that, you also have other subjects to worry about. Akil, what other subject you got to worry about, Akil?
It's the rest. I'm doing BSc Maths and Applied Maths. So I think it's the course 1511, then it's course 1501, APM 1514.
Whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot. What you don't have like work 101, work 102, or flying 105?
Yeah, I do have all this side
Exactly. Like I've got wife 2401 and kids 2002 and dogs, all of that to worry about, right? So you got to sort out your life in terms of how and what it is. So Helen asked me a question, are the quizzes compulsory? No, nothing is compulsory. This is not school. I teach at the University of Technology. Even if you don't want to attend the lectures, it's not compulsory, all right? Even if you don't want to write the exam, which I feel it's not fair, that's compulsory to write the exam. You spend so much of money on the paper, right? And I'm here to help you as well. So please write that exam. Please do the assignments. You have to. Right? So the quizzes are not compulsory, but it's only 2 or 3 minutes, Helen, of your life. And it's fun. And I promise you, I'm going to start giving you awards very soon, I know students last year they wanted data. And if you have a prepaid cell phone number, I'll do the transfer ASAP. So Helen, maybe you'd like to try it, all right? It's fun. All the answers are in the lessons. And I just got one or two tricky questions just to prevent this, to separate the men from the boys, ladies from the girls. So feel free to answer those questions. All right, Helen? It's not compulsory, nothing is compulsory, right? We all have choices in life. Remember that, Akil, right? We have choices in life. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye to that one. And I'm going to go now to assignment 2 and to point out to you what's so important in assignment 2. So there's my link. I'm clicking on assignment 2. And if I look at the assignment 2, last week I spoke about, let's start from the beginning. The question 1, they talk about functions. They talk about parameters. And in question 2, they talk about errors. So you get various types of errors. In this case, there may be syntax errors. That means an error in the way I write the program, or it may be an error in the logic. So where I'm asking a function to add 2 numbers, I am now subtracting 2 numbers. That's an error in the way I'm thinking and writing out the program. If I look at the next question, they're talking about cubes, and they're asking you to return 27. Now, maybe I can do something like that, but I'll do the square of a number. And if you take the square of a number, it's easier to jump to working on to the cube, because square is 5 squared is 25, 5 cubed is 125, all right? Now, in this course, you'll notice that they take for granted that you know mathematical concepts. If you didn't understand that a cube is the number times itself, you wouldn't be able to answer this question. Then they talk about a void function. Last week, we spoke about this, a void function. Just to help you, today I'm going to talk about a return function. And in a return function, you're going to see that we are going to give back something, like the word return says, right? I know you ladies out here, like Helen, you understand the concept of buying an outfit and returning it. Helen, you should be identifying with that. Brett, maybe you understand the ladies when they return. So in programming as well, we have this return parameter, this return function. Now, if it was a void function, then technically I'm not passing back a value. However, we could make an exception where we have a different type of parameter that allows us to pass across a value. in the main program. If I look at the next question, question 4 also talks about variables, and they talk about requesting you to submit your program and your output. Now, if anybody doesn't know how to do this, that means they haven't done assignment 1. But I've also have this under frequently asked questions in the My UNISA group. And let's look at question 5. They talk about a program that calculates the average of test scores. I've been doing programming for a number of years. Average, maximum, minimum, counting values, it always appears year in and year out. All right. So take note of that. The modulus function, another very important function. So 7 modulus 2. Yes, is there a question? Was that a question? Akhil, was that you?
Negative, sir.
Okay, okay. Oh, negative. Oh, I love this. I love this. Negative. You know, we're talking negative over and out. All right. Akhil calling you in. Right. Okay, great. So let's look at question 3. Question 3 talks about the volume, and they talk about the area, and they talk about width, length, all that goes with it. And one of the days I received a WhatsApp from a student that says, how do I sort out my decimal places? So instead of having 5.4, he wants to have 5.43. And I'll talk to you a little bit about set precision today. Yeah. Question 7, I did this with you last week, right? I spoke about how you jump into a program from where to where. And if you did my quiz, you'll know what n plus equals 3 means. N1 minus equals n means, right? This is the lingo that we're talking. Just like Akhil, who's a pilot in an attack helicopter, he has a particular lingo. So if he wants to talk, Akhil, what you'll say? Bravo, vector, talk to me like that, Bravo, vector, alpha.
For what, sir? What do you want to say?
I don't know. I'm not a pilot. You're the one. You're the attack helicopter pilot.
Context, depends on the context.
Oh, I love this word. It depends on the context. Have a look at this one here, line number 7, n plus equals 3. That depends on the context. I would like to take the value of n and add the previous value to it and add it and make it 3, right? That's the context that Aki is talking. Okay, so the same thing with n minus or n plus plus. You know, I could have also written that as n is equal to n plus 1. That means I'm incrementing the value by 1. If you do my quiz, you'll figure out that's what's going on. So now let's jump into code blocks, right? Let's go into code blocks, because programming, you have to do it. You cannot look at programming and say, hey, I'm reading a program. I can't do that, right? And last week, I gave a little story sum. I'm not sure if any parents out here and you'd like to tell your children stories. Would you like me to tell you a story today, Akhil?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I love that. Thank you very much. So here's my story. Once upon a time, there was a C++ program. And in the C++ program, in line 1, there was a comment statement. Akhil, what's a comment statement?
It's just a comment. It's not part of your program, but it just like gives the.
It is part of my program. It's line number 1, Akhil.
Yeah, but it won't be run, if I could say.
Yeah, get the lingo, right? The lingo is the compiler will basically ignore this statement, right? So here it says C++, can you see it's even grayed out as well? And in this program, they had the following functions. The function is called square and the following function is called get number. Now, if you notice, I did it slightly different to the conventions of the study guide. In the study guide, they declare the entire function above the main above the main program. But here, you can see it at the bottom over here. It's in line number 15 and line number 60, line number 23. I have to give you a little bit extra, Akhil, right? You can't say, oh, Prinavin is just doing everything from the study guide. And I'm also going to show off a little, Akhil, that I know a little bit more, right? Okay, Akhil?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Right? But there's no difference. I could have declared the entire function on the top, just like the study guide. But maybe you want to show off with the lecturer and confuse the markers a little bit. But don't worry. So in this story sum that I'm telling you, this story has two functions, and the functions are called square and get number. And both the functions have parameters. The main function starts at line number 8. The main function has two variables, and these are, you could consider this variable number and value to be float. Now I could have also declared that to be int, or I could have declared that to be int double. Now, just like Akil mentioned earlier on, what is the context? Akil, you know, you're talking about alpha, numeral, vector, November, all of that you would say. Or maybe what's the call sign? What's your attack helicopter call sign? Oh, don't tell me. That's a top secret. Yeah, that's a top secret. Shh, this is gonna be right. Okay, so if I had to say over Akil, vector alpha, bravo, numo, alpha is A, bravo is B. Am I right, Akil?
Yes, correct so far.
Right. So that's the context that I'm talking about. Same thing happens out here, float number value. That's the context. If I want to divide two numbers and I want the remainder, then it has to be float or it has to be double. But if I don't want the remainder, then I would have declared those variables to be integer. Just like Akil said, it all depends on the context. What is it that I want to achieve? In line number 10, there's my function call. Just like Akil doesn't want to tell me the call sign and all of that, I want to call this function. Whenever I call a function, I call it by its name. I'm calling it get number, that's the name of it, and I'm passing across a parameter. There's my parameter and it's passed across number, which I've declared in line number 9. And ultimately in line number 11, I'm displaying the value, right? I'm displaying the value number squared is. So let me run the program. Let's see what happens. I do a build and run. And it says enter a number. So out here it says enter a number, actually running from, it's running from when it goes to the program that gets the number. So I just want to run, let's say 3. It says the number squared is 9. I'm very happy with that, right? So generally as a programmer, you want to look at what other people are doing. And this is what I'm the other person. I did this program. And if you notice where it says enter the number, it was actually in line number 19. So what happened was the function was called in line number 10, get number, control was transferred to line 15. Inside line 15, don't worry about this comment. This is not I was doing my prep there. It says enter number, and it's now in line number 21. It says return number. This is where I'm giving it back. I'm returning it to the main program. And the number that it returned was 3. So if it took the value of 3 and it passed it across to value, this is the function that returned. Remember, I started off by telling you that there are different types of functions. And one of the types of functions that we're talking about today is a return function. It's giving it back. So it gave back the 3 to value. And now I went and in line number 11, I took 3 and I squared it. So again, it's another function call. I'm calling 2 functions. Right? Last week we were calling function 1 at a time. And this is what happens when I call the function square. In line number 23, number 3 is taken. I have in line number 25 a local variable answer. This is only applicable to the function in line number 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. That's just to help me to work it out, right? And I put it out there to say, take the value of 3 and multiply it to itself. So 3 is multiplied by 3. That value is stored in answer. Now, Akil, if you did my quiz on lesson 4 or lesson 3, you'll notice that I spoke about variables. And variables, I have a question out there that talks about memory location and storing it. So, Akil, Are you going to do my quiz?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Oh, great. Can you see? And when you do it, a light bulb moment will flash in you, just like it flashed in me. In psychology, it's aha. It's called the aha movement. As I'm talking to you, the aha moment came into my brain as well. And that's what's going to happen and help you to pass this course. And even when you're sitting in the examination, trust me, you're going to be thinking about me, or maybe my voice will be echoing in you, right? Oh, echo, 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 bravo. I learned something else. I've got to learn all these things just now that I killed it, right? So I'm using answer as a local variable. Once it gets the value, it is transferred to where it is being called. And in this instance, it was called out here and displayed. Again, Akil, if you do my quiz in lesson 2, you'll notice that there's different types of C out. I want to get console output, and I could either display it in console output, or I can store the value first and then pass it across. So that's what transpires out here. So to go back to my story sum, or my story about this program, once upon a time, there was a program, and in this program, there were comment statements, like Akil correctly pointed out. And line number 1 doesn't affect the running of the program. It simply compiles the program. And when it sees a comment statement, it ignores it. In this program, there were 2 functions. The functions were square and they were called getNumber. They were return type functions. And how I know that is because it doesn't have the word void in front of it. And also how I know that is this passing across a parameter. And if you're passing across a parameter, that means you want something to be given back to it, right? It's no use creating the function to do nothing. You know, what is it going to do? You have to do something. You have to have an objective in mind, right? So that's what's happening in these 2 functions. And I just changed the order around. I could have had the value function, the function displayed on the top, but I'm just showing off to say, hey, I know another method of working with functions. The program starts running from the main man, the main program. Line number 9, again, I have 2 parameters, 2 variables out here, number and value. You can consider these to be global. They run around the entire program, right? In line number 11, there's a function call, getNumber. So control is transferred to getNumber. Here's my function that's defined. Forget about this. It says area of a circle. See, I take one program and I go and play around, right? I run through the program. Now, this is very important because last week, when I was doing the variable diagrams, we actually transferred control from one program, part of the program to another part of the program. It runs through it and it's done. Now, as a teacher, I need to show you another variation of this. And I'm going to do it out here so that you get to grips with what I'm talking about, functions. Right? I'm putting the fun into functions. Hey, that's cool. I'm going to use that. Let's put the fun back into functions. Right? I'm going to pause a little. It's 12:32. Anybody with a question except for Akil? Akil? Anybody? You can check anybody raising their hands. Anyone raising their hands? Feel free. I've been talking all the time. I've been talking. Anyone with a question? Anybody with a question? Nobody with a question. Okay, I've got a question. Let me ask you a question, right? So let's go back to let's take this program out here, right? So I'm back to this one. I've got a question. Let's say I've got a what question can I ask? Come on, ask me a question. Something. Anybody? No. Akil, if I had to take this program and I want to now calculate the cube of this, Akil, so I don't want it to run and give me the value of, now if I enter in 3, it comes up with number squared is 9. Akil, if I want to take this program and I want to modify it so that it gives me the cube of the number, so 3 cubed is 27. Just by looking at this program, Akil, which line can I, minimal amount of changes. Akil, I want to find the value of the cube of 3. 3 cubed is 27. I know that because I know my maths. Akil? Come in, Akil. Akil, this is Prinavin calling Akil. Akil, do you read me? Attack helicopter, Akil. We seem to have lost Akil. Akil, where are you? You were the one that said your mic is working. Brett, are you there? Brett, Mbali? Mom Ped.
Yes, I'm here.
Is that Brett?
Yes, it's me.
Brett, talk to me, Brett. I want the value of 3 cubed, which is 27. Tell me from looking at this program, which line number do I need to change?
I would think number 18.
Okay, Brett. Hey, Helen. Ah, lovely. And what would I do there? What would I do there, Brett?
I don't know, but I'm sure you must change the number because the way I see it, the output is whatever value you enter, it'll multiply that same number. So you must enter, like, how can I say? You must just cube the number. I don't know what's the function for it, or how do you type that out?
Maths, think now, this is another strategy to understand the question, Akil. You take a concrete example, like I gave you, sorry, Brett, 3. You take 3 and you say 3 multiplied by itself. 3 times 3 is 9. If you want to get 27, you take 3, you multiply it by 3, and you multiply it by 3. Now I want you to take the same schema that I mentioned to you and convert that into variables. Brett, number times number.
Times number again.
Yay, well done, well done, well done. Times number again. Helen, you found that out, Helen. Let me check my chat. Helen's mic is not working. Yay! Answer times answer. Oh, there we go. Hey, Helen found it, right? No need to apologize. We're learning. You better make mistakes here than in the exam. This is, there was a psychologist called Piaget, and he spoke about the concrete operational phase. Whenever you talk about an example, you need to concretize it, make it concrete, make it, take the abstraction away from it. And this is what you do. If you are having difficulty understanding a variable concept, you take a value, a numeric value, and you keep that in mind. That's like your test data. So it's 3 times 3 times 3. I'm just going to run this program. Brett, I'm just going to run this program. Helen, enter number 3. And also take numbers that you can work out, easy numbers. 3 times 3 times 3. Let's check it out. Then, oh, the number squared is 9. Brett, it doesn't seem to work, Brett. It doesn't seem to work. Let me just check up what's wrong here, Brett. This is what happens when you do a live demo, You're doing a live demo and you find out that, oh my, and it becomes a little embarrassing that you as a lecturer, you find out that it's not working. So it always comes in, but this is exactly what happens, just to let you know, right? It happens as well. So let me see, why is this program not compiling? Let me compile it again. And I'm going to run the program. No, something is wrong here, Brett.
Maybe line 11.
What's happening in line number 11? I don't think so. This is Circle of Fun. Oh, I was compiling the. Let me go back and see what's wrong with this. Where did I make that change? No, I've got so many programs. It's on the main. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this program, Control C, open up a new project. I'm going to paste it out there. And I'm going to give it a nice name. How's that, Brett?
It's okay name. It's okay.
Ah, it's a good name. It's a good name. Good name. Right. Let me do that. I'm going to paste it in here. And I'm going to close all my other functions, all my other, sorry, not my other little files there, right? Let me close all of them and close that project because I suspect that it's doing something else. It's close the project, it still has that in mind. Close that project. I have to get this right, otherwise Brett will not come back to my lesson again. Brett?
Oh, the same thing happened last week where I used my name in the program, didn't want to work.
No, dear Brett, it works. Brett, it works.
Oh, now what changed and why didn't want to work in the first time, but the function was exactly the same.
Okay, now this is where my experience comes into play. I've done this so many times that I know this code blocks compiler goes a bit faulty sometimes when you have lots of files open, right? I can't explain it except to say that maybe it keeps the previous value in memory or whatever, or it keeps something out there. I don't know. But generally, when I close all my other ones and I start afresh, it works. Brett, it baffles me. And I've been in this from 1986, 87, right? Life, you know, ask Helen. Helen's sounds, she's a lady, she'll know. And sometimes you just can't explain it, right? Okay, you check this now. Now there's the program, it does what it's supposed to do, only by changing one line number, right? But really speaking, Brett, the way we wrote this program, can you see, you talk about the number squared is, you're supposed to say the number cubed is, Brett?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. But when you were answering my question, you said, is there something wrong with line number 11? You know, you can think of it as logically something is wrong. You are saying the square is, but mathematically, this does what it's supposed to do. It calculates the square of the number, cube of the number. Okay. So this highlights another point about a logical error and a an error that's the computer doesn't know it. It simply runs what it's supposed to do, right? You are the person that's rationalizing and saying, hey, you are asking for the cube of the number and it's actually squaring it. Okay, Brett?
Yes,
and Brett,
I got you.
Don't ever think that because of your name it won't work. It'll work. It worked with you, Brett. It worked with you, right? It worked with you. And you are my student and I promise you, you're going to pass. And not only pass, you're going to get a distinction if you listen to what I have to say. Okay, Brett?
Yes,
Right,
I believe.
good, Brett. Great. Yes, believe. We shall do it. Right. So that's what's happening out there. Do I have any questions? Anybody else with a question? I say I spent about 5 minutes discussing this. And by the way, I don't talk about cubes or wherever. I don't talk about the assignment questions and how to help assignment questions, right? I don't take that as assignment questions, huh? Ha. Where's this? Brett, you with me, Brett?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, Brett, can you see my screen? I'm sharing my screen out there. Brett, it says question 3.
Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
Can you see it says write a function that displays the cube of the integer passed to it? For example, cube 3 will return 27.
Yeah. So that's done with the one then.
Brett, can I help you with assignment questions, Brett? Brett? No. I was talking about squaring of a function, Brett. Brett, come in, Brett.
It's true, you see, that is what was happening there.
Yes, Akil, come in, Akil. Akil, are you there? Over, Akil. We seem to have lost Akil. Akil has taken off, right? Okay. All right. So if you paid careful attention to what I spoke about in today's last 10 minutes, you should be able to write this function. Okay. And again, I don't like, spoon feeding you. You have to do it yourself. You have to do the program. Look at how I wrote it. Check it out. Okay. Now the next one we talk about, let's take the other function that I worked on today. I was talking about the area of a square. Let's open up the recent projects. Right. So here's I want to talk about this function. So by the way, as the teacher, I need to show you two variations of the program so that you can see the differences and you can kind of associate and consolidate the characteristics of the function. So in this example, this story sum, Brett, you like a story, Brett? Once upon a time.
Yes, I like it, yeah.
Oh,
Story.
okay. Right. Once upon a time, there was a program that calculated the area of a circle. In this program, it had one function. Oh, there we go. I'll go back to my old style. The function is declared. Oh, no, it's still my new style. The function is, in line 5, I identified that I'm going to use a function and I write out all the program statements at the bottom of the line number 16. Now, you need to know a little bit about mathematics, right? The area of a function of a circle is given by pi r squared. Pi is given as 22 divided by 7. This is mathematics. Again, if I'm teaching this, this is considered relevant previous knowledge. This is something that you as a pupil should have known before you came into class. But no problem, even if you don't, you can always go and check the resources to find out where I wrote it and how you do that, right? So there we go. I am now taking mathematical statements. You know where I said pi r squared? I can't talk pi r squared. I got to take 3.14. And I multiply it by the radius of the circle, multiplied by radius of the circle. Now, if I had a whiteboard, I could have written over here 22 over 7 times r times r. The compiler needs to understand it in its language, in its lingo. And the only way it can do that is by putting in a multiplication sign there and a multiplication sign there. And you notice the way I wrote my variable name. It's radius underscore circle. Brett, if you did my quiz, that was one of the questions in there. How do you name a variable? And you can have an underscore in a variable name, but you cannot leave a space, right? That's another quick tip. Can you see? If you do my lessons over the week, so when you see me on a Saturday and I talk to you, you get to grips with what I am talking about. And also, so you don't forget COS 1511 C++. You're learning every day something new, all right? So look at this function. It says area of the circle. And can you see it's a meaningful name, Brett? Just like your name is a meaningful name, Brett Mac, with an @ sign there. And it tells you what the program does. So if you have to have a meaningful name, then you don't necessarily have to have a comment statement. Like this comment statement over here, it says function to calculate area of a circle. I don't need to have that comment statement. Why? Because my function name is so meaningful, area of circle. It's like my name, Prinavin. If any of you know the Hindu culture, Prinavin, prana, breath, air, we can talk about that some other times, right? So here we go. Again, if I'm reading this function, it has a local variable inside of it, area circle. Area circle, there's my formula, and I'm returning the value that I'm calculating. So once again, this is a return type function, and it's passed across to the main program in line number 12. And in line number 12, I'm simply giving you the value. So let me run this program. Area of a circle, let's say the radius is 7. And the area of the circle is 158.86. I'm not sure if that's true. Anybody with a calculator, take 3.14. Let me find my calculator here. I just got to verify that, you know, you can't trust the computer all the time. CAL calculator. Now see if you use a value that I could work on, it's easy. 3.14 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7. 153.86. Yay! It's correct. It's correct, right? So now I know the logic of my program works. Here we go. So in this, in these two programs, they had functions in there. They were return type functions. Last week we did void functions, and we had a parameter that was a reference parameter so that we could pass it across to the main program. Today's lesson was on a function that returns the type itself, and I spoke to you about float. Now, one of the students asked me a question this week, and I'm so happy for these questions because now I'm able to kind of, answer it. He asked about precision. It was, let me find that program, open recent projects. It was, it's not that one. Open my recent project. Could have been this one. He asked me the question, are you here? You asked me a question about precision. Michael, I think it was Michael. I worked out the question for him. Oh, I don't seem to have that answer. But Michael, if you're here, please ask me the question and I will answer it for you, right? In my group, we don't have the quiz. That's for group 7E. It's my students, right? iPhone SE, right? It's for my students, the quiz. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stop out there. I'm going to request anyone with a question. It's 12:50. I like to keep my lectures or my tutorials 50 minutes or so, right? Because data is a problem. Load shedding, Karen told me that there's load shedding in Joburg. Anybody from Joburg verify that Karen said that? Anyone going to have load shedding today? We're lucky in KZN. For some odd reason, they forgot about us. We seem to be having lights all the time. Right. So let me go back to my lesson. Let's see if I did what I said I was supposed to do. In today's lesson, I spoke about volume. Oh, volume. So volume. I did the area of a circle, not necessarily area of a square. But if you had to do the area of a square, which actually change the values to length, and you say length times length, which is 3 times 3, which is, right? We did a square. We had some fun with functions. Volume is actually length times breadth times height, right? So something to that effect, right? Let me just take that for you. I have a program. And if you had asked me that question, I could have done it with you, right? So let me look at that question. I have it. Yay, I did it here. There we go. Oh, there's the area. Let me do this for Michael. At least he listened and pay attention to the video, right? So I'm just going to copy that quickly for Michael. I found it. Yay, I did it in Word, not in code blocks. So let me quickly answer Michael's question. Michael, if you are available, or if you listen to the video, the recording, this is for you. You asked me the question about AEL, right? Michael's question. So here's Michael's question. Michael had a question that said he had an issue with the decimal points. And Michael, this is how you sort it out, Michael. You use set precision. Right, so I'm just going to run this program very quickly. It says enter the length of the room. The length of the room is 25.5, and the width, the length, width is shorter than that. Let's say it's 15.2, right? Now you'll notice it gives me a value of 387 square meters, 387.6000. So Michael, in order to get the 3 decimal places after the, where it says 387.000, you use set F and you say cout.precision and you specify a number. So if I had to mention the number 2 for that matter, and I build and run this program, it's going to give me 2 decimal places after that, right? So if I do a build and, oopsie, did I close the entire program? So if I do a build and run, and I say now 15.2, and let's say 28.4, magic, look at that. Michael, you're not here, Michael, but can you see it gives you 2 decimal places? That would sort out your issue. Okay, I like to think of myself as a problem solver. You come with a problem, confine it to C++, costs 1511. You asked me the question and I answered it for you today. Okay. It's 12:54. If there's no more questions, I'm going to call it a day. Right, so I've answered your questions that you guys asked me. And one thing left, I got to share a past year paper with the memo for you, right? I've shown you my YouTube channel. I'll post this to the YouTube channel as well. And please like it. If I look at my likes, how many likes do I have on this one? Last week's Zoom session, I had how many views? And you'll forget to like the video, right? 82 views. 82 views. Come on, there should be more than that, right?
Look at his head.
Sorry, Brett, what did you say?
This guy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Brett. Akil, you
No,
back?
no, I never said anything. I have a
Akil,
question though.
Akil.
I have a que-
Akil, welcome back. We lost you for a little bit there, Akil. You were going through some terrain where we couldn't pick up a reception, Akil, mountainous areas. Ah, come on, man, it's a joke, Akil. Okay, he went through another mountain. Right. Okay. Right. All right. Let's just stop that now. Huh? Oh,
I just want to know
background.
something from you,
Sure,
please.
Brett.
You see, by question 3, they say write the functions as described below. You need not submit programs that use these functions. So they just want you to screen grab the output and paste, add that picture. Nah,
Okay, let me
for
look at this.
entire
Let me look
question
at
3.
this. Let me look at question assignment. Let's look at that question. I need to see what it is. I'm looking at question 3. Question 2, question 3. Question 3 says, and I hope I've got the right one. There's so many different versions running around. Write the function described below. You need not submit. Oh, I like this when they say need not submit. Hey, I say submit. That's just my view, right? Because as a person that's marking examination papers, and sometimes you're looking for marks to give the students. If you have nothing over there, you can't put a mark. But if you have something written, you can always put a half mark and a half mark. How you think I passed and came on, taught you all of the subjects. So submit it. If you say need not, take it that you can do it, right? That's just my view on it. How do I hide this?
So then the program and the output, or do you say it's maybe just a picture of the program? Or
let's just go back to this one. So let's see what the question says. Now the question says, it says write a function that returns the cube of it. How can I get rid of that? New share. Brett, can you see the question in the background there, Brett?
yes, I still see you on question 3 on
question 3. Okay. I want to show. For me, I'm seeing all of right. So it says the question is write the function that is described below. You need not submit programs that use these functions. Write a function that returns right. When I say you need not submit a program, now you'll notice when I was talking in my code blocks, Akil, I wrote out the entire program. I had about 2 functions in there. They say they just want the function. They don't want the entire program, right? You need not submit programs that use these functions. So if you look at the way code blocks, I did my program. Can you see I wrote out the entire program? I got a main program calling it and all of that. They just want the function. You could do a screen grab of that, or you could, copy it into Word and take it from there. All right, you need not. But if you got some time and you got some space and you don't mind printing it or whatever or submitting it, I would say there's no harm in that. All right. Brett, does it answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great. I see in the chat there may be hi sir, where can I access this assignment? Lutando, the assignment is on the My UNISA site. Lutando, it's on the My UNISA site. Okay, and it's also I have a Google Drive. You can click on my link from my Wakefield page. It'll take you to the latest assignment, or send me an email and I'll send it to you. Even Brett will help you, or Akil. We have lots of people that will help everybody out here. Okay, it's coming up to 12:58. Is there another question? Is there another question? Michaela from Queensborough. who's also experiencing some rain. Mbali, Miriam. Oh, this sounds familiar, this name. I saw you did quite well on the test. Lutando, Victor. Victor's got a picture. Right. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording. Anybody wants to take a photograph with me? I promised you a photograph. I also promised you I need to submit, I need to attach this. Oops. Is anybody with a question, query? No question. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording. And 3, 2, 1.